Hello and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we give our list of top 10 comic movies, even though they probably shift daily anyway. My name is Matt. With me, as always, Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
You know, the best part is my list may or may not have changed 3 seconds before we recorded. I'm doing great.
I
Um,
was literally shuffling my list like 20 minutes ago.
yeah, I
Because,
was changing it just before I hit the fucking send button for the link. I was like, eh. like,
honestly, on any given day, it could be a totally different list. There could be like two of the same things on there.
yeah,
Because, there are a lot of stinkers, but there's also a lot of good ones too. And when a comic book movie is good, it's fucking good. So.
yeah, uh, yeah. It's weird. This summer feels like it's flying by. I don't get it.
You know what's funny is not 20 minutes ago Cindy was just saying, "Oh, it feels like the summer's going so slow." I'm like, "Really? It feels like it's going right along."
Last year felt slow. This year, it's
Yeah.
just like,
Well, last year was fucking hell. This year we've had a few little heat waves, but it hasn't been nearly as bad as it has been in past years.
yeah, 'cause it stayed cold. I think that's why the summer feels like it's going by so fast because like it didn't really start until like late this year.
And it hasn't been super miserable so far. So, knock on wood.
Yeah.
It's not August yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
August is to summer what fucking February is to winter. You know, it could change everything.
Yeah. I was laughing. This is apparently a Kineticon weekend up here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because I was like, we'd seen the things. I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, you got FOMO? I'm like, no. We've been I don't have the money for a con right now, but also Kineticon's been like the same thing for like the last few years.
That's
This
fair.
rate.
Yeah, unless I mean you don't really go to like panels or anything like that. So like
No.
it'd be one thing if you were a panel goer, but if you're just going there to check out the art and the merch and comics and stuff, it's not going to vary very much.
Yeah. I kind of I think I reached my peak with the artist alley last year when we were going through and we see sexy pinups of Mau Mau on the wall, and I'm just like,
Oh my,
I'm like, okay. Um,
sexy
that's
man is just wrong.
I'm like, that's out of character, but okay.
You know there's body pillows though.
Oh, I'm aware.
There are.
I mean, these were basically body pillows. um, yeah, I saw that because I remember I was just like looking at. It, I'm like, Alex, is that what I think it is? And she's like, it is, and I hate it.
You see, even free run, like even that's like no, that she shouldn't be sexy. But I'd still say
right. The free run ones are right next to them.
I'd still say free run makes more sense than Mau Mau.
I mean, some people are into the elderly ladies, you know.
Some people just like elves, you know. Some people just like some pointy ears. No matter what they look like.
Yeah. some of those art booths, like I walk past, and I'm just like, okay, like whatever you say.
Yeah. This is how you choose to spend your time. I see.
There's always like people like in front of them, like to buy, and I'm just like, yeah, if you want to hang that in your house, sure. I'll never forget. I have that one like Tifa painting in my game room, and I always remember when I bought that, the guy was like, I have some NSFW variants as well, and I just looked at him like, no, like I'm good, buddy.
No, thank you.
I can look that up on the internet if I really need to see it. I don't need to buy art for it.
Yeah, especially for Tifa of all people. Like, there's no shortage of fucking Final Fantasy VII shit.
Well, yeah, you remember when she was the most popular gaming character in the Italian government?
Oh, really?
You don't remember that?
No.
It was
well,
like
you also got to figure I'm still fresh to Final Fantasy, so.
Oh, this was like this is an old meme for people who don't remember, but this was back, so we were still at Richards at the time. I think it was right after COVID, so right before like the shit started happening, but after we got out of that hell. And it was like somebody hacked like the Italian, there was like some Italian government meeting thing, like Congress, I guess, whatever. Somebody hacked their feed to just some hardcore like Final Fantasy porn. And it was just Tifa getting railed on the screen for like 20 minutes. And like all these politicians are just like horrified. But there's this one lady one in the back who's like very into it. But for like a while, everyone was joking saying Tifa was an Italian gaming icon.
Fair enough.
That was just funny. The funniest shit. And it was before like the AI boom too, so someone actually made that shit. I'll never forget that one.
Not surprising. Not surprising. So what have you been up to this week, Bill?
I went to see Weird Al over the weekend or over the
right,
week.
You did. How was
what
that?
A show! That was good. He's puts on a good show.
That's
the best way to played most of the hits.
You posted a lot of pictures.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to take photos in there, but I did anyways.
You're never supposed to, but it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares.
As long as you're not filming the entire concert and watching it through your phone, I don't really care if you're taking pictures.
Yeah.
When you see the people who literally just watched the concert through their phone the entire time, I'm like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's annoying. We had a similar thing too when we went to when Cindy and I went to Universal for our honeymoon, and they were doing a like laser light show for Harry Potter over the castle, and like so fucking many people around us were just watching it through their phone. It's like why are you doing that, people? You're just ruining the experience.
It's for the gram, man. It's for the gram. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that was fun. I was off yesterday, but that was mostly because I didn't get home till like midnight, like 1 a.m. the previous day.
I always take the next day off. I'm going to a concert or something like that.
Yeah, Alex didn't. She went to work, so good luck to her.
Yikes.
No, I went out though. I had to pick up a few books. I finally found the Dungeon Crawler Carl graphic novel, so that was good.
Nice.
Newbury had it, but no Barnes and Noble did.
That makes sense. I mean, if anybody was going to have it, it would definitely be Newbury.
Well, I didn't want to give Bezos more of my money, so I was trying to find it in person.
Mm-hmm. Fair.
That's fair. I did that. Other than that, I'm still keeping up my Flash run, like reread. I'm finally in the middle of the Jeremy Adams run, which is really, that was like the big run where Wally came back as the main Flash, and it's been a joy to read so far.
Nice.
Like one of my favorite. There's a line in that's hilarious, where Wally's just it's just a weird dude sometimes, and he was hanging out with the other Wally. They were doing some sort of mission, and like he's just doing all this like goofy ass shit, and Wallace just looks at me. He goes, "Can I ask you something serious?" And Wally's like, "Go for it." He's just like, "How did you land someone like Linda?" And he's just like, I ask myself that every day before they just run off into the distance.
That's great.
Yeah, it's a good run. The Jeremy Adams run. It was cut far too short though, unfortunately.
I definitely like to read some more Flash comics, but I don't know. There's a lot of comics that I want to get into, and I just rediscovered, because I knew it existed like when it was first coming out, but I never really like looked too far into it at the time. But there's an IDW comic run of Star Trek, where it brings back Benjamin Sisko of DS9, and he puts together a ragtag group comprised of people from pretty much all of the classic Star Trek shows. So like nice. Worf is there, Data's there, Spock is there, Tom Paris and B'Elanna are there. It's like a big mishmash of Star Trek characters with Sisko at the captain seat. And I really want to read that.
See, I always see like these like different like runs. Like I know like IDW has a whole bunch of interesting stuff. Like Boom Studios does like the Power Rangers comic, and like I've collected most of that, and I'm like I just sit there thinking like, Jesus Christ, like there's so many comics I'd like to buy, but like this, after realizing how many of those there were, I was like, I can't keep doing this for every comic I want to read.
Yeah.
Like I really want to read. I was gonna say I really want to read the Stand comic, but like
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can find the first 3 volumes somewhat okay. 4, 5, and 6, though, forget about it.
You're better off just buying the omnibus. It's expensive, but it's still cheaper and easier than getting the individuals. It's like $100.
No, it's like 400 now.
I was just looking into that like at the beginning of the year, and it was only like 100.
Yeah, it's like 400 now.
Fuck.
If it was
That's
100,
awful.
if it was 100, I would have grabbed it when I did.
God damn it.
Because I was trying to piece them out today, and I got like the first 3 in a cart, and I was like, okay, yeah, these like $30. That's not bad for the first 3. And then I'm like, all right, volume 4, $80. I was like, okay,
How
cancel that.
How many individual issues are there?
There's 31 singular issues, but finding the singular issues is even harder than finding the goddamn trades.
Okay, so there's 31, then there's probably what, like
6 trades,
7 trades? Yeah,
6
makes sense.
There's 6 total. The first 3 are easy enough to find. It's everything else after that. Oh.
I still want to get the other Dark Tower ones, but I mean, I'm not in a huge rush because I know that it isn't and will never be finished.
Yeah, I'm kind of at the point where I'm gonna find a way to read it via totally legal means. Try and find some PDFs if I can, because I'm just at the point where I'm like, I just can't afford that. And
is it not available digitally, like Kindle or anything? No,
because Marvel doesn't technically own the rights to it anymore, so they can't put it on their crappy app.
Well, I mean, I don't know how rights work between mediums, but
so
last I knew Paramount owns the filming rights. I don't know if that translates over to comics, but
I doubt it. The thing is, it's probably whoever owns the book rights, which is probably Stephen King at this point.
Yeah, I don't think he's let go of any of them.
I think what it is Marvel has the right to reprint that comic, but they have to get the rights from Stephen King to redo it, and I just don't think Marvel cares enough.
Yeah,
because I don't think that comic sold particularly well, considering how.
That's exactly why the Dark Tower one went out of print. It's because they got as far as covering his backstory and the first 2 novels, and that they just stopped after that.
From what I can tell, just by how scarce the later trades are, I don't think it's sold very well past like volume 3. So there isn't a ton of those. So once it's honestly probably more expensive to get the license to reprint it than it is just to reprint it.
Yeah.
For like what money they would get from it.
Yeah, it's probably just not worth it.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things where unfortunately you're gonna probably have to sail the seas to read that one at this point.
Or just cross your fingers and hope the value goes down.
I hope the omnibus goes down, yeah. Unfortunately, it's when
it comes to comics, had the chance. Damn it! I ended up getting Lock and Key instead of that.
I bought some rare DC thing I was looking for.
I mean, I'm not displeased with the fact that I got the Lock and Key comic, but that one's much more available. So,
yeah, it's just one of those unfortunate things. Comic collecting, it's about the bubble's gonna burst at some point because like it's not looking good for some of these companies right now.
Well, between comics and video games, pretty much all like the little like stay-at-home hobbies that fucking COVID amped up the prices for. Like COVID's been done for a while. That bubble will burst eventually. Eventually, people will be like, wait a minute, this is bullshit. Why are we doing this?
The gaming bubble's about to burst. That's coming soon. Comics are kind of that's been a ongoing thing. Especially when you see like the way Marvel's been doing it lately, I hate the way Marvel does their books lately, where they keep constantly relaunching the series like with new number 1s. Because you'd think these new number 1s would be good jumping on points, but they are not. Most of them are just in the middle of runs. Like you need to read all the previous run to understand what's going. They're doing it because number 1s sell. That's the only reason.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
Oh yeah, and there's like multiple like series that run maybe like 12 issues, then they fucking relaunch it again. usually with the same creative team, so it's like not even a fucking new run. It's basically just
Jesus.
it's dumb. I'm so tired of these relaunches.
I can't wait until next month though, when my fucking Batman Beyond static crossover comes in.
Oh yeah, that is coming out.
Yeah, 'cause I pre-ordered that like a couple months ago.
Nice.
Patiently waiting. August is coming up faster than I feared. So
Yeah, no, it is. I'm not ready for it.
no, but oh well. So I finished the Titans show.
Oh, yep, that one.
Yeah. The fourth season took a major down.
Yeah, it sure did. It really did. They killed everyone that I liked, and then yeah.
Yeah, there was that, and then just the fucking some of the choices they made were just fucking ridiculous.
What
and then
like what does DC media have against Donna Troy? Like, why is she always getting the shaft in everything?
Yeah, well, I mean, she was in and out of season 2, and then she died at the end of season 2 because, like, I don't know, like a fucking stop sign fell on her or something. It was something that really. It was like a fucking an electrical tower or something fell on her. But then she came back to life in season 3, and then almost immediately fucked off, and then she was just gone for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
So
we'll never have a good adaptation of her because I swear to God, they hate her.
But yeah, in season 4, they did the Trigon thing again.
Oh, only for the 30th time.
It's how they started the series, and it's how they ended the series. But this time it was like Raven has a brother, and he's like the Antichrist, even though like Raven was already that. But like the way that they do it is completely different, and also apparently. All right, so I'm gonna ask you. I asked my other buddy earlier today, but I don't know if he knows as much as you do. Is there a force of some kind in DC Comics universe called the Red?
Yes.
Yes. What is it?
It's like so it's the counterpart to the green. The green is like the force of nature. The red is kind of like the force of like life, kind of like animals and stuff, and like creatures. Like Animal Man in particular controls the red.
Okay, so I guess that makes a little bit of sense then, because in I don't know if this is actually a thing in the comics, but in the show, they essentially made Beast Boy a like conduit of the red, basically in the way that Barry Allen and Wally West are conduits of the Speed Force.
I don't think that's
treat it pretty much the same way.
Yeah, I think that's more Animal Man's thing. Beast Boy, I don't think ever really did that. Maybe I don't. See, the problem is the Titans are so fucking inconsistently written most days.
Well, they literally like in the CW Flash series and in the Flash movie, how they have the whole like they run to the Speed Force and all of a sudden they can see all these different timelines and all these different universes and all that shit. They did the exact same thing for Beast Boy in this. And,
yeah, that's bullshit.
he even sees CW Barry Allen running. He sees Shazam from the movie. He pops into Stargirl's universe from her TV show. He even sees himself as Teen Titans Go. It's just they can't stop doing that. Every version of Beast Boy needs to see the Teen Titans Go version.
I don't even think that's how the Red works in the comics, to be honest.
Well, literally, they made it exactly the same as the Speed Force, but it's for animals.
Yeah, I think that's a bit not a thing.
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't do it for me.
The Titan show is very rough towards the end.
I was gonna say, however, today I started watching Superman and Lois. I texted you earlier about it. And wow, what a fucking start.
Isn't it like it's like the CW knew it was going to be their final project and they put everything into it.
They really did. Like, honestly, just from the first episode alone, I was like blown away by how into it I was. Like, I got into the CW shows, obviously, but like, especially because it's Superman, because, I've I'm not like a natural Superman fan. I like Superman fine, but I've always kind of found him like kind of boring. But like the way that they're handling this story, where like not only is he already established as Superman, he's already married to Lois, and they have 2 teenage boys, and
Yes.
like with the story starting with them moving back to Smallville and like trying to get a life established there, like that's like the family dynamic there is way more interesting to me than any of the Superman shit.
Also, just like Tyler Hoechlin as Clark is like perfect.
Yeah, it does work very well. I am very much enjoying it.
Also,
Again, I have
Bitsy as Lois is another phenomenal casting.
yeah. I've only watched the first 2 episodes so far, but I'm really digging it.
The first season is very long, but it is a trip, like in the best way. Like it goes places you wouldn't expect. That first episode though, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I wasn't expecting it to fucking to hit like catch me the way that it did, especially with how lukewarm I was about the entirety of Supergirl. Like, I was expecting it to be kind of more of the same, and then
no, not even close.
Very, very pleasantly surprised.
No, this one actually has stakes and drama, and like you actually care.
And they're throwing in an alt universe version of Luthor.
I won't say anything more because, yeah, there's a lot there.
Yeah, I could tell. It's very, very intriguing.
All I'm gonna say is whatever you think is going on, it's probably not what it's likely not what actually happens.
Okay, fair enough.
Because the twists of season 1, it goes places that you wouldn't expect.
Look, as long as the show sticks to them living in Smallville and doing the small town thing as well as the Superman stuff, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it gets a bit more expanded from seasons 2 onward, but season 1 is very. A lot of like the family stuff is the key component.
Mm-hmm. But aside from that, I've been reading the 4th Dunder Color Carl book. Not quite halfway done, but I'm getting pretty close to that mark. And shit's getting fucking intense in that one. I'm curious how things are gonna go when we start covering the comics, because it seems like they're rolling them out fairly slowly. Because that first one came out like a month or 2 ago, and the second one doesn't come out until October. And I'm pretty sure, just based because I peeked ahead just to see, based on where the first one leaves off, I'm guessing it's probably going to take at least 3 of them to get through the first book.
Probably.
So I'm wondering, like, how long is it going to take for these to fucking go all the way through?
It depends on how well they sell the graphic novels.
Well, with how fucking insanely popular this book series is right now, it's probably selling very well. In fact,
right.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna pop on Amazon and see where it stands. You keep talking.
Just my thing with this is because it's a graphic novel. These books, they're hot right now. I don't know how long that'll last, because you got to remember the attention span of people in America is very, very small. And it's if it takes as long as it does to get the books out, I just wonder how long they'll be able to keep the momentum.
Well, people will also. Well, it has the bestseller tag already.
To be fair, though, on Amazon, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, the novels are still coming out, and there's the series that's also in the works. So I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it's #1 in manga comics and graphic novels, #1 in science fiction graphic novels, and #1 in fantasy graphic novels, and 241 in books. So yeah, it's selling very well. And this is 2 months after it came out.
That's fair. I still say keep an eye out, though. Because you got to remember, it's got to compete with manga and comics. And
well, that's the thing, though, is I don't think it's going to cost as much to put it out either, because these comics already exist. They're just printing them. They're webtoons. So they already exist. They're on the internet. It's just a matter of printing them and shipping them.
Yeah.
So it requires minimum effort for nothing but profit, pretty much.
Yeah. They are a little expensive. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I
was
mean,
a little shocked when I saw the price. I was like, oh,
$15 every 4 or 5 months isn't that bad.
I paid, it was like 20.
20.
Yeah. Unless you got a sale on Amazon.
I mean, I did, but at the basic generic price on Amazon is 15.
Let me double check that because I paid like 20 something in the store.
That might just be your particular store thing.
Now I'm curious.
Oh, dude, you left so many of my pauses when you in that the Desert Island Games episode when you lost power. You kept in so much of my pauses.
I cut out a lot of it. Yeah, it's saying 20 for me.
That's weird.
So maybe you got lucky with a sale.
Maybe, I don't know.
Either way, it's more expensive than your average manga volume.
True. This is true. I mean, if you're looking at it as manga, it is longer than that. It's true. 50% longer. So
see, the thing that's gonna, I'm curious how long they're gonna be able to sustain this. The thing that's gonna kill a lot of these smaller books is DC is fucking killing it with the fucking compacts.
Yeah, that's true.
Because those,
but the Dungeon Crawler Carl series is like a phenomenon right now. Like everyone's fucking talking about it, especially the audiobooks. And with fucking Seth MacFarlane making a series for it, like I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
No, it probably isn't. I'm just saying this as someone who's gotten into things that the attention span has died very quickly on. You can never be too sure these days.
That's fair. So on the gaming side of things, I haven't really had much chance to play games this week. I have done a little bit more work on Final Fantasy 3, and I'm very close to the end. I only have like maybe 2 or 3 dungeons left. Because when you go on the walkthrough, I'm on like the second to last page. Well, I know there's still a decent amount left. It's still going to take me a few hours to get through it. Like I just need to have the time to do it, but I'm very close to the end. I put all my other stuff on hold because I realized I was putting too much time into the fucking the Pokemon Rogue.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I already have 3 other games in progress right now. I should probably finish one of those before I dump a bunch of time into this game.
Into a ROM hack, yeah.
Well, it was a very well-made ROM hack.
Fair.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to this week.
Yeah, I haven't done much gaming-wise. I played Mario Party last night with the boys.
I watched The Watchmen finally, the movie.
The movie or the animated one?
The movie. I watched the Ultimate Cut on HBO Max. 3.5 fucking hours long.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched that yet. I don't have time
for a 3-hour movie. It is very well done. I will say it hit every point it needed to hit. There's only one major thing that they changed, and honestly, I think they changed it for the better.
All right, I'll get to it eventually. I'm kind of Watchmen'd out at the moment, especially after I watched the animated one.
That's fair. They made some interesting music choices, though, that I'm not sure how I feel about.
Yeah, there's a My Chemical Romance song in there.
Yeah, well, that's not even what I'm talking about, though. Like, the sex scene between Night Owl and what's her name, Silk Spectre.
Lori, yeah.
Yeah. They played like this really weird cover of Hallelujah while that was happening. It was bizarre.
Was this the when they actually did it, or when he couldn't get it up?
This is when they actually did it on the ship.
Okay, that works.
They did include that scene though.
That works a little better if it was during the first attempt. I feel like that's a choice.
But no, like it was. I was surprised by how incredibly accurate it was, including Dr. Manhattan's swinging dick.
Yeah, I've known about that.
It's in there. It's in there.
That's what's his name? I know that actor.
They don't call a ton of attention to it, but it's there. You can see it if you're paying attention.
They don't have to. It's there, and you're like,
Yep,
can't look away.
Blue dick.
It's like when it appears in the book, and you're just like, there it is.
Yep.
I've heard it's pretty good. Alan Moore hates it, but Alan Moore hates everything. That's every adaptation of his work.
Yeah, no, he's crazy.
He did like the Justice League Unlimited episode though they covered for the man who loved it, for the man who had everything. It's like the one adaptation of his work he actually liked.
Yeah, but yeah, it was interesting. So sorry to interrupt you. You're playing Mario Kart with the boys?
I was playing Mario Party last night with the boys, and it was Mario Party, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
I was in dead last most of the game, and I somehow won.
That's those fucking bonus stars, man.
Yeah, we almost lost to the goddamn computer because we only had 3 of us.
Yeah, that's Mario Party.
And we made the computer rock stupid, and it still almost won. Fucking
kind of happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's about it. We can probably get into our topic.
Yeah.
So, have we done a top 10 on this show yet, or is this the first one we're doing? Doing.
I mean, we've done similar ideas, but I don't know if we've actually done a top 10.
Yeah, because top 10s are usually a GNC thing, so we've never done that over here yet.
I like to do just a top 10 movies in general as well.
That would be a lot more difficult. We tried to do that for GNC, but Alex doesn't watch enough movies, apparently. So
in her entire life?
She can't remember. It's Alex.
That's fair. I have the memory of a goldfish, so.
I mean, to be fair, I had to like really, despite seeing all these superhero movies, I had to really think.
I did have to look up a list just to remind myself of the ones I've seen. And I also wanted to try and jog my memory of movies that are comic book movies, but aren't just like traditional superhero movies. I tried to go at least one of those on my list.
There's at least one for me. I tried to go out of the box, but for the most part, so for those, if you couldn't guess by the title, we're doing our top 10 comic book movies. So comic book based in general. I think the only real exception is no manga, unless you pick that, in which case, oh well.
I almost threw Rurouni Kenshin Origins on there just as like a, just that like a hat tip, but that would have been the only one I did. But it ended up making the list.
Okay, because I didn't do those just because I figured that was a different medium. But
true, but I mean, I feel like it'd be almost harder to do a top 10 for like live action anime movies because then it'd be like, okay, well, half of my list is Rurouni Kenshin.
Well, I did a few animated movies, so
yeah.
Yeah. So I figure we can go 10 to 1.
Yeah.
Do you want to just do like what we do for GNC, and we'll each do 10, then each do 9, and then go on so forth?
Yeah. Do we want to do like before 1? Do we want to do honorable mentions, or because they're definitely honorable mentions? Because realistically, anything I mention on honorable mentions could easily be on the list on a different day. So
yeah, we can do that. All right. I guess I'll go first. We can just alternate.
Yeah.
All right. So number 10, the lone non-superhero movie on my list, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, there you go.
I forget what year it came out. It was kind of like 2010, I think.
2009, 2010, something like that.
I remember I remember seeing ads for this movie, which was amazing because there wasn't many. It's an interesting film. It's you can tell the film started production before the books were done because it has some wildly different choices towards the latter half compared to the book.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It's a fun film, though. It's classic. It's a classic Edgar Wright film that bombed when it came out because no one got it.
Mm-hmm.
It also had one of Michael Cera's better roles, I'd say.
For sure.
It's a very fun movie, full of charm and personality. I do enjoy the fact that they brought the entire cast back for Takes Off later on. It's a fun film, though. I really enjoy the movie, and it's a shame not many people saw it.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it has gained a huge cult following since then. So,
well, like most Edgar Wright films.
About right. Yeah. So my number 10 is probably not something that you're going to be too happy about. It's Justice League Flashpoint Paradox.
I mean, I don't hate the movie. I just hate the art style.
I thought the art style was done very well, especially
Everyone
with
looks roided out in that movie. He looks janky.
I think that was the side effect of the time period.
I guess I just the best laugh I get out of that movie is the meme about "It was me, Barry."
Have
you ever seen that video?
I think so, yeah. But no, there's a lot of things that I like about this movie. I love like the whole concept of like alternate timelines and stuff like that. This is one of the first of like the newer like DC animated movies I had seen, and I just remember being blown away. There's a few moments where like they do some CG stuff that I'm not crazy about, but for the most part, I think it's pretty well animated, pretty smooth. And there's just a lot of like goofy, silly moments throughout, like despite how dark the story is. And like the whole Thomas Wayne as Batman and his wife becoming the Joker thing, like that is just endlessly interesting to me. Even though it's
they do nothing with it.
Yeah, they just kind of pass it by. Like honestly, I'd be into it if they wanted to do like a limited run, just kind of going into like looking at some of like the seedier details of that universe.
They did, and it still went fucking nowhere.
Well, I mean, we all know how it ends, though. So it ends with the world being destroyed and Barry running back in time and fixing it. So,
well, except for the fact that Thomas Wayne comes back later.
Okay, that's weird.
It's a lot. There's a lot.
But either way, it's one of those movies that just kind of like that seeing that movie like made me want to seek out more of these newer DC animated movies.
It's unfortunate the two it leads directly into kind of suck, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, they're New 52 based, and it's like the worst New 52 stuff.
I mean, considering that was like the start of this whole line of movies, it makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's just because I really don't like Justice League War. That's probably my biggest gripe there.
That's fair.
I'm overly harsh on that movie, mostly just because I don't like the art style, but I don't hate the movie.
And you also hate the New 52.
Well, I hate the New 52 because of what it did to a lot of my favorite characters. I mean, it literally erased my favorite character from existence for 10 years.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But I don't, because I do think Flashpoint is a great story. I just hate the fact that it was shoehorned into a reboot. Or an extremely unnecessary reboot.
Hey, at least your favorite character had plenty of time. My favorite character got maybe 6 years worth of comics. That's it.
But at least he's always perpetually existed. Mine just straight up didn't exist for like 10 years.
Yeah.
He was
popular enough to at least be included in the New 52, even though it didn't last.
Yeah. In mine, they tried to make into a new character entirely. To the point where now there's just two Wally Wests running around.
Yeah, that's compromise.
I mean, they thankfully made the new one a good character in the long run. So.
There.
Yeah.
What's your number 9?
My number nine, it's a Beatles song, is one of the few Marvel movies you'll find on this list, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, nice.
Guardians was one of those surprises because I remember seeing the trailer for it. I thought it looked like shit. Because like I knew nothing about Guardians, which to be fair, the actual characters in the movie I don't think were actually the Guardians in the comics at the time. But yeah, the movie just the trailer for Guardians did not look very good because they really just highlighted like the stupidness of it.
Mhm.
Like it focused mostly on Groot and Rocket, and I was like, okay, this is a movie. But then I saw it on a whim because I think I got free tickets to see it,
Mhm.
and I was surprised by how good of a movie that is. I mean, it introduced us to James Gunn in superhero movies, so that right there was a
Yeah,
start.
for sure.
But I love the music cues, the story. Like it's got a very feel good like finish to it, and the sequel also held up as well. But I just think the first one is just has like just slightly the edge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I really liked Guardians back in the day.
Yeah, I enjoyed Guardians. I actually like all three of the Guardians movies.
I still have yet to see the third one.
I liked it. I liked what they did with it. It was interesting.
One of
There was
these
some fun
days,
character moments in there.
yeah, one of these days I'll get around to it.
Um, Actually, on my list, well, I actually have three Marvel movies. Only two of them are part of the MCU, technically.
I only had one. This was it.
Um, it's actually more than I thought I had. But yeah, so my number 9 is kind of an out there one. I'm going Creep Show. It was a it was a Stephen King and George Romero film from the 80s. It was an anthology. It was like 5 or 6 different like short stories in it. And it is it is delightfully bizarre.
It's the best kind of bizarre.
But it also has like its really creepy moments throughout. And it's just such a fun like it has like some of the weirdest shit. Like there's a whole like little story in there where Stephen King is like a farm kid and he gets infected by like an alien moss and like he just gets fucking covered in the moss. It's like the weirdest fucking thing in the world, but
So
it
he
is like
becomes
the
Swamp Thing.
dude you watch that whole thing and you're like, oh, he was coked out of his fucking mind when he did this. It's so obvious. It's so fucking funny.
Nice.
But no, it's if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's a good watch.
Okay, I'll make note of it. I mean, I'm getting the Stephen King journey right now, so should get around to that at some point. All right, so for number 8, this one is Superman '78, the iconic Richard Donner film with Christopher Reeve. It's like the quintessential Superman. Not even Superman. It's like the quintessential comic book superhero movie. Like
it really is. It was like the first good one.
It's the one that most superhero movies take inspiration from because it really nailed every aspect. It was perfect for the character at the time. I don't think he's a great Superman nowadays. Not Christopher Reeve, just like the Superman for the film.
The way he's portrayed, yeah.
He's perfectly portrayed for the 70s. Not so much modern times. But great cast, great story. Like I love the villains are great. Like Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor, just perfect. It's just a fun movie, and it's old, it's dated, but it still holds up at the same time.
It's almost 50 years old.
50 years old, and it's still entertaining.
Yeah. Well, we covered it last year, and I was shocked by how fast those 2.5 hours went by.
Yeah. That's a good movie. Good. Can't talk. Good movie.
Yeah. So my number 8 is Teen Titans versus Justice League.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah, it's an animated film, and part of the reason why I did it is just because I love the Teen Titans. But there's a lot of things in this movie that I really enjoy.
There's only one thing I don't like in this movie, but it's incredibly. Damien and Raven, that was weird. That's just weird to me.
Well, I didn't see like many of the follow-up stuff, but they never like actually. They more just kind of form a bond because they both had shitty childhoods.
They were shipping that kind of hard, for that for that universe. Which I guess if it's there, the thing is though, like in the comic continuity, Damien's still like 13 and Raven's like an adult. Like
Well,
that screwed with my brain.
In this continuity, they're both like 14, so it's fine.
Well, because they just changed Raven's age on like a whim, because she was like young in the comics, and then they were like, no, she's back to where she's supposed to be after at one point.
But no, there's a lot of aspects of this that I love. I mean, just like the general like group aspect of it. Damien like actually develops in this movie, which we've gotten like little pieces of in the previous ones, but like he was just kind of always a shithead and just continued to be. And it wasn't until he was thrown in with like a bunch of other kids who have had similar experiences that like he really started to change his tune.
Only the comics did that.
Also, Damien and Beast Boy's DDR battle was pretty great. Yeah, no, it was one of the first ones that I like really went out of my way. Like when I heard they were making it, I instantly went out and bought it. I don't know. I just love this movie.
It's
such
weird.
A fun story.
That one's always interesting to me, just because like the Teen Titans get the real like highlight of everything. It's when the Justice League shows up, I'm like, oh yeah, these guys are kind of boring in this universe.
The movie is also kind of a misnomer because there really is no big battle between the two teams at all.
No, it's because the problem was when this movie came out, it was right in the middle of the reshuffling where they were kind of moving away from New 52 into Rebirth, and they were kind of undoing a lot of that stuff. So this movie was kind of a weird in the middle kind of thing.
It was kind of hilarious too, like when I watched it, because like the movie is called Justice League versus Teen Titans, and like you're watching this movie expecting like
they fight for like 2 seconds.
It's not even there's like a build up to this big fight, and like they're like, all right, we're gonna do the thing, and they fucking jump through the boom tube, and fucking literally like within seconds, Damien whips out a shard of kryptonite, stabs Superman, that releases him for the mind control, and then he is the one who takes on the other Justice League members and like, gets them out of the mind control. So like literally, it just amounted to Damien stabbing Superman, and then Superman did the rest.
Yeah, it's so funny when you go from that movie into like the death of Superman, which I think was like shortly after this, where like in this movie they still were really pushing Superman, Wonder Woman, because that was the New 52 thing.
Yep.
And then in like Death of Superman, it's like, oh yeah, that's just gone. Like they broke up off screen. Don't worry about it.
So it doesn't matter. Didn't happen.
we have to reaffirm Superman and Lois as a thing for the movies. Yeah, just the goofiness of those movies.
Yeah.
Yep. That's actually the second Teen Titans movie, isn't it? Or was the Judas Contract?
Judas Contract was the follow-up, but if you're looking at Teen Titans movies in general, technically it's the second, because there was Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo.
Well, yeah, that's from that universe.
It's still a Teen Titans movie though, which I haven't seen since I was a kid, which is why, I mean, for all I know, that movie is fantastic. I just don't remember, but
it's on YouTube right now if you want to watch it. So
really, I looked and I didn't. I only saw it for like rent, and then like there was like, the 6-minute episode, fucking like playlists of it.
1 second. I think it was in that playlist I found.
Really, I didn't.
Let me double check.
Well, I know the Justice League versus Teen Titans is in there.
God damn it! Yeah, it's actually. This is the wrong playlist. It might be gone now. Yeah. Either way, it's not that hard to find. All right. Number 7. I have Batman Under the Red Hood. One of the best Batman animated films by far.
I still haven't seen it.
So it's a perfect. It's actually a superior adaptation to the comic of the same name. It basically adapts Death in the Family loosely with Under the Red Hood, and it is just it's literally one of the best interpretations of that story. Like it has one of the so it's the movie that introduced Bruce Greenwood as Batman.
Okay,
the guy who so he later went on to do Young Justice. They brought him back for that, but this was his first movie he was in, and it was so well received they brought him back for that. And he's basically the only other actor aside from Kevin Conroy that people really genuinely accept as like a modern like Bruce Wayne Batman.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that movie's just super fun, super sad at points too, because
I can imagine.
it well, because Jason Todd is such a complicated character. Like he is like always on like a fine like knife edge between like being well written or being poorly written, and it's
Mhm.
like it's so easy for them to screw him up. So it's really good when you see like an actually well written interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that era of like those the animated movies before they were trying to do them all like serialized into like the same style, because that one had like a very like comic, like it was very accurate to the comic it was based off of. Also,
Mhm.
John DiMaggio as the Joker, you wouldn't think that would work, but it is surprisingly really good.
So I hear.
You wouldn't think it would work, but my god, Bender Joker is surprisingly good.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one soon for sure. um, so my number 7 is Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Is this the one with Toby and Andrew?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, I chose this one over like literally any of the other Spider-Man movies because it was as much as like I still tote the original like Toby movies as like the quintessential like pretty much the building block for the modern day superhero movie. Um, this was such a perfect way to cap off the stories of the two previous Spider-Men and then
Yes.
also kick off the current Spider-Man into like kind of a new kind of tone for the series going forward.
They had to kill off Sexy Aunt May.
Yeah.
We couldn't have
Well,
that be a thing.
he didn't get his Uncle Ben moment, so he had to have an Aunt May moment instead.
I know. I was always like, when they cast her as Aunt May, I was always like, that is such a weird choice that I'm wondering how long they're gonna keep going. And then they
But
killed her,
like,
and I was like, oh, okay.
yeah. But like getting like happy endings for fucking the Green Goblin and Doc Ock and Electro, like that was it was like ridiculously compelling because like we grew up on these movies, you know, like especially um with Green Goblin and Doc Ock, like you know they like oh or not Harry, Norman Osborn wasn't exactly a great guy in the movie, but he wasn't as bad as he was after he became the Green. He was flawed, but he wasn't a bad guy.
Kind
Um,
of a scientist myself.
yeah. And then Doc Ock's story is just fucking depressing. Like it's such a sad story.
See, the
And
best
like
part of that
seeing them
movie,
oh god.
the best part of that movie is that those actors got another chance to really like more accurately sell those roles.
Yeah.
Like the
Especially
guy
like
that
so
played
many
Doc
years
Ock
later.
was, oh yeah, the guy that played Doc Ock, he fucking didn't miss a beat.
Mm.
And then
Yeah, it was nice.
Defoe actually getting to do a decent version of that character, not the fucking Spirit of Halloween mask.
Yeah. And I also really like Doctor Strange, so having him be in there being such an integral part of the story was cool. No,
My
it's just there's so many things about that movie that I just absolutely adore.
I love that movie. My only thing that keeps it from being like one of the best for me is the fact that the movie is kind of like 100% fan service. Um,
That's fair, but there's another movie similar to that on my list. So
let me guess, it's Marvel related, and it also involves a non MCU character interacting with MCU characters.
yes, it
Okay,
involves many non MCU characters reacting with.
fair enough. I mean, No Way Home's or yes, No Way Home, is
Yeah,
a
no
great
way.
movie. But watching it, of like, this movie was, they were struggling and they needed fucking fan service to win the crowd over, and it sure did.
Well, this was kind of my cheat answer because I literally could name any other Spider-Man movie except maybe Amazing 2. Um,
Or three.
but I still like 3, but
I like
it's
three
not
too,
it's
but
not as good as the others, but I still like it.
there are parts in three where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this movie is bad.
Yeah, but I just had such a hard time choosing that I just said fuck it. I'm doing the one that they're all in because
Yeah.
it was the perfect crescendo for the previous Spider-Man, and yeah, I love that movie.
I just love that movie makes fun of like the previous stupid things, like where Toby's like, "What is that? What's a web cartridge?" And they're
Yeah,
like,
right.
"It's the thing we launch our web from." He's like, "What? It doesn't just come out of you?" And they're like, "No." Ugh, God.
That was great. That was great.
All right. That was number 7. So number 6. For me, it is Wonder Woman, the original movie, not the sequel. That's not great.
So
um,
like the original, like as far as the Snyderverse goes,
the
is there another one?
yeah, there was the 84, which
No,
is
I meant like before that.
there's animated movies
Oh, okay.
because there's the 2009 animated film, which is also not great, but
Fair.
that's besides the point. This the live action 2017 film.
Okay.
Still probably the best thing to come out of the DCEU extended universe. Um, depending on who you ask, some people don't like the movie, but that's nor here there nor there. It was just great to finally see a Wonder Woman in live action that wasn't like half-assed or the 80s show, which is its own fun thing. Um, the story's fun. I like Chris Pine as Steve Trevor. I like the vibe they went for. I like that it was a World War One movie rather than like World War Two, because you don't see a ton of World War One stuff. And it was like 100% like flashback, so like you don't have to worry about like the modern day baggage and shit. You can just get an origin story it's perfectly contained, and you really don't have to watch anything that came after it. You just kind of enjoy the movie for what it is.
That's good. Yeah, the only bit of that Wonder Woman I've seen is the like 5 minutes of her in the Flash movie, which is a great scene.
I mean, she's okay in that movie. Her solo movie is much better though.
Well, I'm sure, but that like 5 minutes in that movie is like my favorite part of the movie. So,
I mean, it's not saying a lot because Gal Gadot's not that great of an actress, but
yeah,
she did fine as Wonder Woman. So
fair.
I'll leave it there.
So my number 6, Superman 78.
It's
Now
a
I
good
was
movie.
really debating which Superman I wanted to put on here, and I had a similar struggle with another one. But this is just the perfect Superman film. It has everything you need in it, and it just yes, there the new one is fantastic. I absolutely love it, but Superman is such an old product that like seeing it in the old style just makes more sense to me. And
I have different opinions on this, but
well, I like I said, I like the modern one too, but like the original Christopher Reeve Superman is just like that is quintessential Superman for me.
that's fair. I have a lot deeper time with that character, so I have different thoughts on it. I love that film. I mean, that film is spectacular. I may or may not have the other one on my list later. So, okay. So we're in the top 5 now. So for number 5 for me, it is X-Men: Days of Future Past.
That one came very close to being on my list.
The reason I have Days of Future Past is this was the movie that made me care about the X-Men again, because after X2, I could not give a shit for years.
Yeah.
Because I did not like The Last Stand. I did not like Origins. Didn't even bother with First Class at the time.
First Class was good.
It was. I watched it after I watched this one. Which was really funny watching Days of Future Past the first time, because I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, who's this young Xavier?
That's James McAvoy. It's my boy.
I know. I got to watching First Class later. I was like, oh damn, they actually did make a decent one in that period. But no, Days of Future Past is just such a fun, especially for someone who's not really a Marvel guy and doesn't know the source material very well. This was just a fun movie. It was a great at the time send off to these characters. I didn't realize we'd probably see them again.
Yeah.
but or at least Hugh Jackman multiple times again after this.
Well, we're gonna be seeing a bunch of them again in Doomsday.
Maybe. I don't really plan on watching that, but sure.
Well, no, a bunch of the original X-Men have been confirmed to be in it.
I know. I just that movie, everything I've seen about Doomsday, I'm like, that movie looks like it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, well, maybe Doomsday and whatever that other one is called. Maybe that'll be the end. They'll finally decide maybe we've had enough of the shared universe thing.
I don't know. All I know is bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom is either the most genius thing they could have done, or it's going to be the worst decision they ever made.
It all depends on how they handle it. Like that's the biggest crutch of the movie. Like it could go either way.
That movie's going to be the true telling point of if the superhero genre's dead.
Yeah,
because Spider-Man, Batman, those don't count. Like those do not count.
Yeah,
those will sell no matter what. It's all these other characters. That's where we're going to have to see going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Future Past though is really fun. I really like Patrick Stewart's great performance. What's Magneto's actor? I can't remember right now.
The old one or the young one?
Old.
That's Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. His great performance. Just basically all those actors getting one last hurrah. Mm-hmm. Hugh Jackman really does steal the show in this movie because he kind of is like the main draw.
Well, he's the time traveling fucking savior. So
yeah, I love the scene where he like fucking is in the past and he fucking like takes out his claws and he like sees their bone claws. He's like, shit, and then just goes at it.
One of my favorite things about that movie is like, so there's the scene. Because you've seen First Class by this point. Because there's a scene in First Class where they're like collecting all the different mutants, and they go to approach Wolverine at the bar, and he just instantly is like, "Fuck off," and they just, okay, and they leave. And fucking Xavier remembers that, so when he goes back, being like, "I came from the future, and I got all this stuff to tell you," he's like, "You told me to fuck off last year. Screw you." Like,
yeah,
I love that. I love that. That was great.
Yeah, no, that's a fun movie. That's like the last truly great X-Men film, not counting the two Wolverine movies. Those kind of are like the pass because those are just Wolverine movies.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's like the last because like Apocalypse was pretty shit. Dark Phoenix was pretty bad.
Yeah, agreed.
What was the other one?
The New Mutants.
Yeah, that was legit garbage.
That was dog shit. That
was Fox had one more movie in the bag, and they were like, "Yeah, fuck it, who cares?"
They were like, "I don't even know what we're doing here." I think it was supposed to be like in the Logan timeline, like the Logan setting or whatever. But based on the way that they handled it, that's what it seemed like. But yeah, it was.
Well, there's a certain movie later that basically shits all over that Logan timeline, anyways. So
yeah. Literally dismantles it and uses it as a weapon. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really did. This Days of Future Past fooled me into thinking Bryan Singer was a good director.
Yeah.
If anything, he's like got like a couple like hits and everything else is garbage that guy does.
Yeah, and most of them were X-Men movies.
And I don't even think those are 100% him. Because the first two I'm convinced were mostly because he had David Hayter writing him scripts.
It's possible. So my number 5 is Batman 89. This is, if memory serves, this is the first superhero movie I ever watched. It is the Batman movie. It was the first Batman movie I went out of my way to show Xander. It just nails it. Like with fucking Michael Keaton as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and fucking Jack Nicholson as the Joker. It's one of those movies I can always come back to. It's like a comfort movie for me.
It is a comfort movie. I still think that he is a terrible Batman, though, for the movie.
I mean, would you prefer fucking what's his name doing the?
I mean, that world is more interesting.
True.
Michael Keaton is a better actor. Well, I don't even want to say that because that's not fair to Christian Bale. Because Christian Bale is a great actor.
No, Christian Bale is a great actor.
that his performance there was a choice. That's all I'll say. Michael Keaton is my favorite live action Batman, just inherently. But the actual Batman he plays is such a bad Batman. He just kills people in the movie. Like, what are
He
we
doesn't
doing?
kill that many people.
Still does though.
We
Like,
went over this, Bill. We covered it on the show. He doesn't kill that many.
yeah, but he
How
kills
did you
at
remember?
least. There's one is still too many. Like,
It's comic books. That dude could have survived. He tried to save Joker.
I love that movie, but that movie has problems. Like, I still can't get over the Batwing scene.
Well, I don't think there's any comic movie in the history of the world that doesn't have at least some problems. But
No, there is. I just 89 to me is a movie that I like to watch in a bubble because the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, like there are just things about it that bother me.
you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. And just the scene of Joker dancing around the fucking museum or restaurant, whatever the fuck that was. Like, that's just so much fun.
Jack Nicholson is a weird Joker to me because he's like in that weird like in the middle phase where he's not quite like dark Joker, but he's also not 100% like Cesar Romero Joker either.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of in a weird. He's like a perfect like in the middle between Heath Ledger and Cesar Romero.
Yeah, like he is definitely psychotic, but he is actually like silly and comedic about it.
They push a little bit too far into the silly sometimes for me, but I still love Jack Nicholson's performance.
I think that was just a side. I don't think we got into a point where, like, well, I mean, obviously, like the comics are a separate thing altogether in terms of like movies and TV and stuff. But like, I think he was the last like really like silly Joker. And then from that point on, it was like, I mean, Mark Hamill, like he could be pretty silly.
Mark Hamill
he's also done some very dark interpretations of Joker.
Mark Hamill is the Joker to me, like still to this day.
I feel the same way about Kevin Conroy.
Well,
as Batman, like
Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are literally one goes with the other. You can't not have them together. That's why Mark Hamill has officially retired from the Joker because he won't do it without Kevin. So, unfortunately, Kevin Conroy passed away.
Yeah,
but yeah, 89 is a great movie. I just think its flaws do keep it from being my favorite Batman live action.
I mean, I still think that when you're looking at the total package, The Dark Knight is probably the better movie. But Batman 89 is just personally for me, it's one of those movies that that was the movie that made me aware that these movies existed and made me like them.
See, I think part of it too for me is the fact that I didn't see 89 first. I watched Returns first.
Oh. At least it was one of the other good ones.
It was, but Returns is rough at times as well.
It can be. It's darker.
The Penguin is too dark in that movie. Like, Danny DeVito kind of went off script a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because that's just not what the Penguin ever was. Like, he was never...
Even going beyond that, the Catwoman stuff is fucking super creepy, too.
The creepiest part about the Catwoman is how tight that suit is on her. Like, apparently Michelle Pfeiffer was like, said in interviews, that suit was fucking killing her throughout the movie.
Yeah,
it was so tight.
I believe, especially with the action scenes.
Yeah. No, I prefer, was Anne Hathaway was her in the Dark Knight movies, I think?
Was she?
I think so.
Was she not introduced until...
She was in Rises only.
I never watched that one.
To be fair, it's not a great movie. It's really not. Other than Tom Hardy, being, "Oh, Batman," I was the Dark Knight. that movie gets memed more than it.
I've seen so many memes about that movie.
It is definitely something. That being said, though, I'm moving on to number 4, actually, ironically. My number 4 movie is Batman the Dark Knight.
Okay.
See,
like I said, if I didn't have such a tight connection to 89, it would definitely be Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, the only reason because I initially had 89, but then I gave it to Dark Knight. I gave Dark Knight the edge, mostly just because, to me, as much as nostalgically 89 is probably the more it's the more fun movie. The Dark Knight, that movie like changed superhero movies.
Yeah.
Like that was really the point where they were not afraid to get dark. Like, because that, my God, Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker is insanity. Like it is one of those things where it's like it was so perfect that it probably drove him mad. You think about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've mentioned before, like I've seen the video of it was like right after he had died, and Jack Nicholson, it was like a video of him like, going down some stairs or whatever, and the reporter comes up and mentions Heath Ledger's death to him, and he shakes his head and he goes, "I warned him."
Yeah. No, it's.
I can imagine playing the Joker probably does something to you. It does something to your brain.
The scene, well, especially the Joker that fucking Ledger went for.
Yeah.
To me, the scene that gets me every time is the hospital scene.
Yeah.
Where he's just walking out of, which apparently was 100% ad-libbed. Where like he's like fucking with the thing and then he runs off like freaking out. The pencil scene, that is still the funniest disturbing scene in that movie, where I'm gonna make this pencil.
That was the scene of that movie that I was just like, all right, I'm in. Like, let's go.
You ever seen the joke where it was a parody film on YouTube somebody did of the scene where he's being interrogated by Batman, and the person playing Batman in the parody is like basically overacting the whole like like drugs thing.
Yeah, that's the College Humor one, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are the drugs at? He's like, excuse me, what? He starts beating the shit out of him. He's like, I can't understand what you're saying.
I love those videos so much. Yeah. But what do you see? Rumors? How do they know where to go if nobody pushes it?
Also, that version of Two-Face, like Harvey Dent, is tragic.
Oh, for sure.
The only thing about that movie that I still on repeat watches don't give a fucking shit about is Rachel. Like, I just don't care.
That's fair.
I
kind of don't care about any of Batman's love interests, like, to be honest.
Like, other than like Catwoman, like, or like Talia, it really just, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, because it's like, who the fuck Rachel was just made up for these movies, and then she didn't even have the same actress.
My childhood friend.
Yeah, because like her actress changes between movies too, and I'm like, oh right, it's a different person.
I didn't even know that. I don't think I've actually watched Batman Begins and Dark Knight back to back before.
It's Katie Holmes,
or even remotely close to each other.
Yeah, it was Katie Holmes in the first movie. I don't even remember who plays her in Dark Knight. It's not important. She dies halfway through the movie anyway.
Liam Neeson play fucking Ra's al
Ghul, yeah, in Begins.
That's pretty sick casting.
I will say though, the one constant in every Batman movie is Alfred is fucking amazing.
Always, every time. I
love in like the Dark Knight movies how he's just like an exposition machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like, well, one time, and just goes on this entire thing, and I'm always like, that's just fun.
Well, that's because Alfred is the true moral center of the Bat team.
He's been dead for over almost a decade,
and that's why it's going to shit.
Well, actually, no. Batman's ironically doing surprisingly well. I'm just amazed they've kept Alfred dead as long as they have.
He'll be back.
You say that, but it's been a while. Like, I'm surprised they haven't done it yet.
Hey, fucking Wally was gone for that long. You don't know.
Well, that was different. Wally wasn't dead. He was just erased.
Gone. Which is worse in a way.
He was trapped. Well, we found out later he was trapped in the Speed Force.
So yeah, my number 4, I alluded to it earlier, is Deadpool and Wolverine.
It's a good movie. It's fan service 100%, but it is a good movie.
Oh, for sure. But again, just like I said with the Spider-Man movie, it was like the perfect send-off to like the Fox Marvel universe.
Yeah, because it's basically dead.
Yeah.
Which is funny because technically only Deadpool is from that universe. Technically, oh no, I guess the all the guys in the purgatory world.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, I guess it would depend. Yeah, no, because isn't it? Yeah, because in the movie, Deadpool is from the same universe that Logan happens.
Yeah, because the Wolverine, the Logan in the movie is just is a failed Wolverine from another universe.
Yeah. Well, all the people like fucking Sabretooth and um the fucking chick with the adamantium nails and shit like that, they're all from the same universe as Deadpool.
Oh, and Johnny Storm, he was.
Well, is he from the same universe? Do we know that?
Well, we never know.
Although, actually, you know what? I think there was a deleted scene in the second Fantastic Four movie where Mr. Fantastic changes his face to look like Wolverine. So
I don't know. The Fox verse makes no sense because Elektra's also there, and we don't know. And then there's fucking Blade is chilling. Wesley Snipes
too.
And then they had freaking the Gambit that was like the Gambit from that canceled Gambit movie.
Yep. Which it would be a huge misstep on their part not to cast him in future things, but
they won't. They won't because it's Marvel.
That would be awful silly of them.
But no, I mean, that is a fun film.
It was one of my favorite superhero films to come out, like since I really started getting back into superhero films.
Yeah, it's just kind of a shame that it's probably it for. Because are they going to bring Deadpool back ever, or is Deadpool done?
Who knows? We never did find out why Thor was crying.
Yeah, that's true.
Even though I'm pretty sure that's just a scene from Ragnarok.
Probably. All right. Number
3.
My number 3 is actually Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that was the one that I was really leaning on choosing, but I ended up just going with
Spider-Man 2 is like the modern superhero film. It's like that and The Dark Knight are kind of like the two that really solidified what superhero movies could be.
Well, I said ever since our first round of superhero movies that we covered that Spider-Man, like the first Tobey Spider-Man and the first X-Men movie kind of like set the standard for the two kinds of comic book movies that we get now. Is we either get like the kind of brighter, more hopeful, good boy kind of superhero films, and then we get like X-Men, The Dark Knight, like those kinds of films. They perfectly represent those two factions of superhero movies.
Yeah. Which is just so funny nowadays when you look at where superhero movies are now, and we're like kind of in this weird, kind of hopeless era. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 though, that is an iconic film. Doc Ock, Toby, all those characters. It's so weird too because you forget that the first movie kind of ends where Toby's kind of a loser.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
he had the girl,
and he let her go. He just said, "No, I'm good."
No, that was the first movie. The second movie was wait.
That's what I mean. At the end of the first movie, he basically ends as a loser.
Right? Yeah. Well, he was a shitbag of the first movie anyway. Like, sorry.
Well, yeah, he's. As much as I love that first movie, it is a horrible representation of Peter Parker and Mary Jane.
He's such a bad friend of that movie. I totally understand why Harry Osborn went the way he did.
Yeah, and as much as I like Kristen Dunst as Mary Jane, that is a terrible Mary Jane in hindsight. They're just really off.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 though fixes a lot of those problems. I love the movie, like even to this day. And it ends on such
probably the best of. It's definitely the best of the original 3.
It's the best Tobey movie by far. I still think it's the best Spider-Man movie in general to this day.
Yeah, it's fair.
Like the first Amazing was really good, but I still prefer 2. And then the Holland films are all fine, but I still just inherently prefer Tobey as Spider-Man.
I don't dislike Tom Holland. I'm kind of sick of them at this point because they keep fan casting and like fucking everything that involves somebody who looks young. But
Well, yeah, it's you got your starter pack. You got your Tom Holland, you got your Zendaya, whatever her name is, um,
Zendaya,
Zendaya. Then you got Chris Pratt and whoever else is popular now. I don't know.
yeah,
Jack
but
Black.
I,
Jack
yeah,
Black will play a
yeah.
villain.
I don't
There's your starter.
inherently dislike Tom Holland, but he is my least favorite Spider-Man.
He's a great actor. I'm sick of seeing him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 though. Love that movie.
I can't argue with that choice, especially the top three.
The scene where Doc Ock is like in the hospital and the claws are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is so Sam Raimi. It's not even funny. Like that scene is fucking terrifying as a child, and then you watch it now and you're like, yeah, this is Sam Raimi, all right.
Well, I saw that first Spider-Man movie in theaters, and that there were some scenes in that movie that fucking freaked me out as a child.
Oh yeah, I love that Sam Raimi has like his like all his like recurring actors. Like who's the guy that appears in every one of his movies? I can't remember. Because he does the narration for the goddamn video games too.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
This is gonna bother me. What's his name? Oh yeah, I forgot James Franco was Harry Osborn.
Oh yeah. That was
and
that was his first big role.
Bruce Campbell. That's who I was thinking.
Okay.
But these movies also gave us the literal perfect casting that is J.K. Simmons as
oh yeah, the role Jonah. That he was born to play.
He was so good they brought him back for the later movies regardless. Because he's perfection in that role.
Yeah, there's literally nobody else you could do that would
the fucking laugh the laugh you're serious gif is still one of my favorite gifs to use.
Oh god. Yeah, no, Spider-Man 2 is probably one of the greatest superhero films of all time by far.
It is. It still holds up. It still looks good. Like I still think that is like the best Spider-Man suit you've ever seen in a movie.
Like literally the only reason it's not on my list is because I'm indecisive as fuck when it comes to this kind of shit. And I needed to just settle on a list at a certain order just to fucking stop thinking about it.
Yeah. That's fair. All right. What do you got for number 3?
For number 3 is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's one of my favorite, like, just stupid movies of all time.
That is a movie that the biggest problem with that movie, like getting people to watch it, is if you don't get what Scott Pilgrim's about, you're gonna watch the movie and be like, "What the fuck am I watching?"
That's exactly my first reaction when I watched it. But I mean, my group of friends when it first came out, like there was a period where we were all like super into that movie. Some more than others. I liked it. It wasn't until I revisited it years later that I was like, "Oh, this movie's actually great." Like. It's one of those movies that I come back to a lot. Fucking Xander loves it. Like I showed it to him fairly recently, and he fucking absolutely adored it.
Well, especially after you read the books too, and you get like a different appreciation for it.
I still need to get the rest of the books. I'd love to read through the series again. But yeah, Scott Pilgrim. Some of those jokes fucking kill me every single time. Like I can't get over how fucking funny that movie is.
Yeah, from the books, my favorite is still at the end where Scott like finds out Knives' age and finds out she had just turned 18, like right at the start. It just cuts to the close up of Scott. It's just really sketchy 20-something-year-old. I'm just like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But no, my only real gripe with that movie is I don't like the Ramona for that movie. I just don't get it. She's not likable in that movie at all. She's great in the series.
Yeah, the actress did much better in
Takes Off. But in the movie, she's just I don't get the attraction. I just don't get it.
To be fair, everyone in that movie's kind of off. But to be also fair, the books weren't really finished yet because when that movie was made, I think they were only technically on like book 2. So Ramona was still kind of a dickhead by that point.
But yeah, Scott Pilgrim. It's one of my favorite movies in general.
I mean, To be fair, one of the golden things about Scott Pilgrim is the fact that both him and Ramona are terrible people. Like that's kind of the
Oh, for
joke.
sure.
They're like everyone in that book is kind of awful when you really think about it.
That's why I love the idea of like the movie and the series, like having each of them really examine themselves and become better people.
Well, I love the series because the series just gets meta as fuck, and that's kind of the
I know.
joke.
It's great.
Nice. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 2. So for my number 2 pick, it is Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
Fucking solid pick.
That movie. Is it safe to say I still think to this day it's Mark Hamill's best performance?
Oh, easily. The best Joker laughs of all time are in that movie.
Also, Joker is so fucking dark in that movie.
It's barring Heath Ledger, it's probably the darkest Joker we've ever seen.
In a animated form, yeah.
Well, for sure in the animated, but well, the Batman was really weird.
Oh, that Kevin Michael Richardson Joker. Yeah. I love that. I love his performance as Joker, but that is such a weird Joker.
Yeah.
So I should actually say Under the Red Hood's pretty dark too, but that's also inherently based off of one of the darkest Joker moments in the comics.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill though, like he steals the show in this. I love the Batman Beyond universe. It's a shame the comics just can never fucking get it right.
Yeah.
I love that movie because that movie is basically a perfect send off for that show. If you don't count the epilogue in Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole story and stuff, like how they basically explain everything that happened. It is kind of depressing. That's technically how Batman the Animated Series kind of ended, but just everything about that.
I'll save my thoughts.
I guess. And I love Terry McGinnis as like a character. I really wish they did more with him.
Agreed. As much as I love Michael Keaton, Kevin Conroy, fucking so many other versions of Batman, Terry McGinnis is my Batman.
Well, if you think about it, he's basically like DC's Spider-Man.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
Before they had Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle, like he was basically like the Spider-Man for DC.
But in the future,
yeah, in a very dystopian future, which makes sense.
They have flying cars and they love flat colors, but there's no cell phones.
Well, what is this cell phone you speak of? It didn't exist in 1990, whatever. You're still using bricks.
Sorry,
my
beeper is going off.
The fucking first episode of Batman Beyond, thinking back on it, is so fucking dark too. Like there's a fucking guy who's gonna launch a fucking bio weapon out there that just fucking apparently is so yeah. And then the main villain is caused by radiation to prevent the disease from spreading, and you're just like, what the fuck is this show?
Yeah. Actually, I had the I think it's still at my mom's house. I had the Batman Beyond the movie, which is just the first 2 episodes.
Which, I mean, to be fair, is a great start to that series.
For sure.
Although I will say though, like one of the darkest parts of Batman Beyond by far is like the Superman episode where we find out Superman was taken over by fucking Starro for like the entirety of his, like,
the entire Justice League was.
Yeah, that's true. But like Clark apparently was like possessed by him for like years, like in his like later life. And he basically saw like all the people he cares about die off around him while he was possessed by this thing. Like it's a really, that's up there. And then like the Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, we found out was possessing his daughter for fucking God knows how long.
Yeah, it's a pretty dark series.
Yeah, or the that weird like ink blot like villain character thing. How she like that one dude is like obsessed with her when she's in jail, and then she fucking turns him into a blob creature at the end.
Yeah,
fucking dark episodes in that show.
for sure.
For like 1999. Like,
Yeah.
Did like that show though a lot.
Yeah, it was. I always remember because they always played Batman Beyond and Samurai Jack back to back.
What an era! Like,
Yeah,
what an era
right.
for WB.
We grew up with like the best fucking cartoons.
They were all so good they got canceled early because they were too violent for fucking TV.
Yep. Yep.
Ugh.
All right. So my number 2 is Logan.
That is a really good movie.
Which again, like, it's funny how many of the movies on my list are just send offs, but like, yeah, it was the perfect like end of an era for the X-Men in general. It was a fucking depressing end, but it was also like tinged with hope. And also just like the way that they fucking canceled out Logan's healing factor is just ridiculous.
Comics.
It's just what was fructose corn syrup. That's what it was. They put a drug into high fructose corn syrup because they managed to isolate the mutant gene and was able to fucking suppress it. So they put a drug to suppress the mutant gene into high fructose corn syrup, which is in fucking everything. So there's no getting away from it.
Yep.
Which is just fucking wild. But like, no, that movie was fucking crazy. And it was good that we, obviously, like by the time Deadpool Wolverine came out, we got one anyway. But having a rated R Wolverine movie.
Yeah, that was well, especially because the biggest complaint with the Wolverine was the fact that it was still rated
Rated T,
PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13.
Because everyone was just like, this should have just been an R-rated movie, but they were still too afraid to do R-rated movies.
Yeah, but no, Logan is just it's just a great movie. Even putting aside the whole like this is based on a comic book, like it's just fucking it's done so well.
The only downside to it is the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine basically just shits all over its corpse right at the start.
That's true. Yeah.
Which I'm like, it's funny, but my God, if you loved Logan, that has to be depressing watching that.
And Xavier's death is like the saddest fucking thing in the world in that movie.
At least Deadpool didn't shit on his corpse too while he was at it.
That's true. Well, his corpse wouldn't be perfectly preserved, or his skeleton
fair.
At least.
Fair. Just that scene always gets me at the start of that movie where I'm like, oh wow, we're just shitting all over the beautiful ending of Logan.
It's the best way they could have possibly started that movie.
I mean, to be fair, we made up with it because we got to see fucking Hugh Jackman in the yellow spandex, the one thing we all wanted to see.
Yep.
I gotta rewatch Logan. It's been a long time.
For sure. So we want to jump into some honorable mentions before we hit number 1.
Sure. Honorable mentions. I'm gonna throw a few out there, I guess. Guardians 2, Ant-Man, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Avengers Endgame, Shazam. Shazam was pretty good. Blue Beetle. I watched that recently. Surprisingly good movie. Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Like, what? That was actually released in theaters too, and nobody went to see it, which was depressing. Yeah, because it was just came out at a weird time, but it's like phenomenally animated. Just all those in general, like most of the stuff from that era.
Yeah. So yeah, for me it's pretty much every Spider-Man movie, including the Spider-Verse movies.
So I had those. Oh God, how did I not think of those?
Yeah, those. Well, I mean, I've only seen the first one, but yeah, it's great. I love the Doctor Strange movies. Thor, the original Thor movie, I loved. I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a lot of animated ones. I'd like to say The Killing Joke. The first third of the movie kind of screws it up.
Because the portion that's actually based off The Killing Joke is great.
Yes. But the fucking like first third of the movie where they just focus on like a D-list gangster instead is just dumb.
I don't need to see Barbara Gordon and Bruce fuck on a rooftop.
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
Especially since like her and Dick are like a canon couple, so like it's just extra weird. It's like I'm gonna fuck your dad, then I'm gonna date you. Like, no, that's gross.
The only the only two characters that everyone wants to see Dick with, or will, basically it's either Batgirl or Starfire, like Barbara, like Barbara or Starfire. Like no one, Batman and Batgirl. That's just weird. That has always been weird. It's the one thing I love. Bruce Timm's like what his work on the animated DC stuff, but my God, that is the weirdest thing he keeps trying to do.
Yeah,
I don't. It's not. That's not even the only time that's happened, because it happened in the goddamn Batman Beyond. Like that was a thing apparently.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Anyways, moving on from that.
Also, the Guardians movies; those are also very good. Obviously, Infinity War and Endgame.
Is it
Ant-Man?
Is it a hot take that I think the first Avengers is overrated?
I mean, it's just a side effect because they constantly go back to it.
See, my thing was that people hyped that movie up like it was the second coming of Christ. Like it was the greatest superhero movie ever made. Like
I mean, at the time, it was a huge deal.
I guess I watched it like later on after the fact. And I thought it was boring as shit. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like I was so bored the entire movie. Like unpopular opinion, I thought Age of Ultron was more interesting.
Fair.
So that's a hot take right there.
And what was it? I actually like the Daredevil movie. I think it's a fun movie.
The Ben Affleck one.
Yeah, it would never be on my top 10, but I still feel the need to mention it.
It was certainly a movie of its era.
Yeah, I think that's most of the ones.
Oh, I'd throw out the first
Dark Knight movies too.
Yeah, I'd throw out the first the first Fantastic Four from the Fox era was okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
not great by any means, but there's moments from it that I thought were okay.
It was fun. It was a fun movie. In the same way that Daredevil and the first Fantastic Four movie they're time capsules.
Yeah.
From
that era.
For sure. But yeah, that's probably it.
All right. So this might be mostly recency bias and just because it's one of my favorite characters. Unsurprisingly, Superman 2025 is my favorite superhero movie right now.
That's fair. It is a wonderful, wonderful film.
That movie is everything I could have asked for with a superhero movie. Like they got Superman right. That was the thing because Man of Steel is such a nothing against Henry Cavill. I think he got done dirty by terrible scripts. Man of Steel is one of those movies that I liked when I first watched it, but it gets worse every time I watch it.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with the few times I've watched Superman 2025. Like it gets better every time I watch it. Like it is such a fun, positive movie. It fits the vibe of the character. Like it's like it's right up there with 78, where it fits. It is like a perfect modern Superman movie because they just get who he is and what he's supposed to be. And
that makes sense.
I love David Cornsweet as Superman. I think he is a perfect Clark Kent. I love Rachel Brosnan as Lois. The guy that plays Jimmy was great. Everything about this movie is so fucking good.
And Lex Luthor.
Oh God,
Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor is fucking fantastic.
Fuck it. I love when you make an absolutely despicable character likable. Like, because my God, he is such an awful character, but you love him because he's so fucking going so hard. Love all that stuff. Oh, freaking Nathan Fillion is fucking Guy Gardner. Such a great Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Just like everything about that. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I love Superman, and I hope Man of Tomorrow does well. I'm a little worried about it, to be honest. But is
James Gunn like behind that one in particular, or
he's directing it? But he just came out and said like, this isn't Superman 2, guys. This is a ensemble film. So we'll see how it goes.
I mean, technically the first one was an ensemble film too. So,
But that was Superman was the main character in that. Apparently, he's going to be part of a greater cast in Man of Tomorrow. But
that's okay.
I have hope. I have hope.
Mm-hmm. Also in the honorable mentions, I forgot to mention Kick Ass. Kick Ass is great.
Nice.
But yeah, so my number one is, of course, you know it, you love it. Madam, I'm kidding. It's
How do I end the call?
It's Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. It's like I remember seeing ads for this movie constantly when I was a kid. Like every fucking VHS tape that I had that had any like fucking almost every single VHS tape I had a fucking preview for Batman Beyond Return of the Joker in it, and every time it just got me so fucking hyped. And I remember the first time I watched it being like, this is fucking incredible. And even I watched it this morning actually, and it still holds up so fucking well. Like there's so many aspects to that movie that are just fucking fantastic.
The scene where he murders one of the Jokers early on in the thing, where he's like going through the list. He's like, any objections? Bonk. Oh right, he's dead.
Yeah, it was one of the first things in like the animated series, like the animated universe, where they're just straight up killing people, like without any sort of like oh no, he actually is no, they're fucking dead. He just shot him in the chest, like straight
the Joker
up.
dies.
No
the Joker dies in the movie.
Yeah, and of course, you know, the only thing that's fucking weird about it is like the whole like hand wavy. It's a thing of the time. It's every sci-fi story you could just wave away by saying it was a microchip. But you know, even putting that aside, it's just so fucking good.
That's one of my favorite. The scene where Terry's fighting the Joker, and like Bruce is trying to coach him through it, and he's like, "Wait a minute, he likes to talk.
I like to talk." Yeah,
and he's like,
and then he's just caught. He actually makes the Joker sweat because he's fucking with him so much. It's great.
I love the scene where like he just fucking like elbows him in the fucking gut, and the Joker's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Fighting dirty." He's like, "The real Batman when I'm not the real Batman."
Yeah, it's great. It's like, I missed the cape, but yeah, not bad.
Or like the scene where he's like, didn't Joker always want Batman to make Batman laugh? He's like, "You're not Batman."
Yep, it's great. And one of my favorite scenes too is like, I mean, there's the whole like backstory about like what happened with the Joker, right? But like the whole scene where the Joker's doing the whole like, I know who you are because I tortured Tim so much he told me, and like he does the whole thing is like, now it all makes sense, but it's anticlimactic because you know it turns out at the end of the day you're just a little boy screaming for mommy and daddy. It'd be pathetic if it wasn't. It'd be funny if it wasn't so pathetic. What the heck? I'll laugh anyway. He just does like one of the best fucking Joker laughs of all time. God, I love that fucking movie so much.
There's just like so many great moments in it. I love the freaking the music behind it. Like that fucking Static X did that like fucking music video for the movie, and you got Wayne Static in this like bat suit. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? It's
right.
That is the most early 2000 shit you'll ever see.
Oh yeah. Fucking God, there's so much about that movie that I just absolutely adore. I can watch that movie over and over.
Like the part where he's choking out Terry. He's like, "Any last words, Brad?" He's like, "Yeah, one." Ha ha ha, and just fucking buzzes him.
The joy buzzer is undoing. Yeah, it's great. And just like the whole reveal at the end, it's just like, no, surprise, bitch. I was inside Tim Drake all along.
Yeah, the surprise shock.
And then the like random ass fucking reveal at the end that the twin girls were actually Harley Quinn's granddaughters.
Yeah. How'd she survive? Yeah, you'll never know.
Comic books.
God, what a fucking insane movie. But like such a
especially for the time, like the fact that they even put out that movie in that universe at that time is fucking wild. Because this came out the same year as the first X-Men movie.
Yeah. And you gotta remember too, like the Batman Beyond was not doing well at that point. Like it was pretty much about to get canceled. So the fact that it got that movie at all, it was kind of amazing.
And it still holds up to this day. I still say it's the best of the animated DC universe. Like,
Mask of the Phantasm is close. That is also a phenomenal film.
I'm not 100% sure if I've actually seen that movie, so I'll have to hold my judgment on that.
It's in that playlist on YouTube. If you do ever get a chance, it is.
I think it's in that big Batman pack that I got recently. So
It's
that and Return of the Catwoman, or
Mystery of the Batwoman.
Yeah.
There's also Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is also a movie.
I think I have that one, but it wasn't in the big bundle.
They're all on that YouTube playlist, regardless. But yeah. Now, Return of the Joker is just a masterpiece.
Oh, for sure. It's only an hour and 15 minutes long. It's a very short movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a made-for-TV movie, so.
Yeah, but it's just I can't rave enough about it. So I just gotta.
I still love how the censored version is somehow more violent than the non-censored version.
I don't even know when was the last time I watched the censored. I don't even know.
The censored version's harder to find than the uncensored version.
Okay.
Because most people have never seen it, but like the scene where the Joker dies, like in pretty much every version, the uncensored version, it's like he gets shot with the fucking bang gun, and he has the classic line where he's like, "That's not funny. That's not funny at all." In the censored version, because they can't have him get shot in the chest, instead he gets knocked into some exposed electrical wires with running water and gets electrocuted to death, and it's like significantly more violent.
Yeah, that's almost worse.
But that's acceptable because there's no gun.
It's about right.
Even though Bonk gets shot earlier in the movie. Censorship is so fucking stupid sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right. Well, we're at an hour 40. We should probably get into the segment.
Indeed.
We don't have music properly for this one, so I just gotta pick one and we'll go with it for this one. All right. So the third.
The third episode of Haunting of Hill House, titled "Touch."
Very appropriate.
So this is our Theo episode, the middle child. It's very, very clear that she is the middle child too, because she acts like it.
Yeah, very detached from everything.
Yeah, very much like I'm just gonna do my own thing over here. To the point where there's even a scene earlier on, like or later in the episode, where like we're revisiting the whole he's about to release the book or he just released the book. And because we had the scene in the last episode where Shirley was giving him a bunch of shit about it. And this is like a follow-up to that scene where he's like, yeah, so like I'm releasing the book, but like Shirley talked to me recently and like I was thinking about it and I decided I'm going to share the royalties with all of you. And which, you know, based on what my publisher is saying, it's going to be a lot. And fucking like Theo's like, everyone's got like their own like really strong opinions about it, and Theo's just like, I don't fucking care. Like I just want to move on with my life and focus on the future, which totally fair.
Yes.
But I also love how fucking Shirley just speaks for everybody else in that scene.
She's very annoying.
Like, yeah, you can see why she's my least favorite character. Like,
also, I have to say, the previous episode had all the bug shit, and I was not a fan of that. I was not expecting this one to just be like, oh, we're just going into dark as fuck shit in this episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, one of the first things that comes to mind is the scene where Luke wants to get lowered in the fucking dumbwaiter when they were children. Or no, he wants to take a ride on it, but they don't think it can go down. They think it can only go up, and it ends up taking him into the basement that they didn't know existed. Where he gets somewhat attacked by a ghost.
Yeah, everything in this show is so confusing, but yes, sort of.
Well, it's because of the way like everything bounces around. You know, I think it's the constant jumping in time that is the most confusing part about it.
Yeah, I was more horrified by the scene where she's laying in bed and being like, "Oh, bad dream, Nell. Okay, Nell, you're hugging me too hard," and it's just like, "There's nobody here."
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
that was the scene that opened this episode.
Yeah, it was like, "Oh, we're doing weird shit." Okay.
Yep. But yeah, this is we learned that Theo is a child psychologist.
Yeah, and I was not expecting it to go where it went.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things that's gonna happen when you're in that line of work.
Someone call Chris Hansen.
But I did notice, like, as we're going through this, that like, because it mostly focuses on her dealing with that particular little girl's case. But there is a scene where we see her like starting a new session with a different kid, which ends up being kind of non-consequential. But
because we needed a trauma dump about the book right after
that. But like, I was also gonna say that like we had the whole bit where like I think they included that scene with the little boy because we needed to see what she was like when she started a session with a new child. And it seems like she starts each one with a handshake, which is very telling. She's using her gift specifically for, helping these children, like to get a good read of them and what they're going through and how she can best help them, which is honestly like the best kind of use you could, like the most honorable use you could use for that power.
Yeah. No, so far out of all of them, she seems to be the most, for what it's worth, level-headed so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few.
Aside from her alcoholic tendencies,
and her frat boy escapades.
I mean, to be fair, that's the most normal thing we've seen so far out of this family.
Well, that's true, but I mean, she was kind of a dick to Trish.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of make up for it later with another.
Kind of, but even in that scene, she's just like, "Yeah, whatever, let's just fuck."
Like, all right, fine. I'm gonna trauma dump you for an hour straight.
Well, to be fair, I don't know if you noticed this, but in that scene where like she's trying to get things going, and Trish is like, "Whoa, like let's talk for a second," and like if you see in the background, it's midnight. Yeah. It's like, do you not know what a booty call is? This is what this is. Like, this is you don't get a call at 11:30 midnight, and this isn't a date. This is a booty call.
Well, it's clear that they want very different things at the moment.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think it's also because it's very telling because we had that scene early on with her and the little girl where she's having this whole conversation saying like how when she was a child, she learned to fucking build walls in her mind. And like, you do realize that's exactly like the opposite that therapists are supposed to be about, right? Like going to therapy is about tearing those walls down, not building them up.
She's got unorthodox means.
I guess. I mean, I guess part of
she just straight up has magic powers. So
yeah. Well, part of her strategy is like I don't need you to break those walls because I could just look into your mind anyway. But
part of her strategy is this degree on the wall. Fucking pointless. I got my cheat code.
Yeah, right.
But I still took his money to get that degree.
Yeah.
I did like that, how cold that line was.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my fucking PhD. Like,
do we find out more about Steven later, or is he just kind of like is he just kind of morally gray?
Well, I think you'll find, I mean, by this point, you probably have a pretty good idea of, like, the hierarchy, essentially. Because it's, I mean, obviously we know how things work with the ghosts and the supernatural stuff. The younger you are, the more susceptible you are. So the oldest kid is, like, the biggest skeptic, and the youngest kid is the one who is like, I was seeing fucking ghosts, and I'm traumatized from it. Like, obviously, like, the youngest of the 5 kids are the ones that have the most problems.
Yeah.
And then the oldest ones have problems too, but on the other end of the spectrum. So, like, I think it's one of those things where it's like the older of the kids are, like, they're mostly going to be coming to terms with these things actually happened. And the younger kids is more like, we need to get over these things that happened.
Because there's the one line during that whole, like, the book scene where Shirley's being Shirley, where where you get the whole line where he basically is just talking about the money, and she's like, "It's always about the money with you," and he's like, "Yeah, exactly."
Yeah, it's about the money. I'm fucking broke. Because we even when we got that small scene at Nell's wedding, you could hear in the background Steve and his wife like having this like jokey conversation, like how they're having drinks and stuff, and you hear his wife saying something along the lines of like, "Oh, like me supporting you for 6 years wasn't enough," or something like. And it was said in like a light, jokey kind of way, but like you can tell there's a little bit of bitterness there, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
so like clearly money was a problem.
Yeah. I do like that scene at the wedding though, where
it was a very sweet scene.
Well, yeah, because I like the accepting nature they have there. Were her and Steve on bad terms by that point, or was it kind of ambiguous?
Nell and Steve?
No, Steve and Theo.
I don't think so. I think I think that actually I don't know. I think that might have been after he had written the book, but before it was published, or maybe it had just been published. I'm not sure.
Well, it's kind of unclear. It seems like the only one who like it absolutely has problems with him is I already forgot her name.
Shirley.
It seems like Theo just doesn't give a shit. Like she's just indifferent at this point.
Well, it's very much like I just want to focus on where I'm going, not where we were. Kind of, which I totally get, 100%.
It seemed like with her, it was more. She was kind of just like, "Yeah, you do you. I'm just gonna pretend none of this matters and just move on."
And if you remember, there was there had to have been some sort of, because obviously in the wedding scene, like Nell and Theo are very much like obviously with that very warm, accepting scene with them. And we know that between that point in time and Nell's death, they had some sort of falling out because Theo and Shirley were talking about it before that.
Yeah. And I assume from the scene at the end of the episode where she touches Nell's corpse and has that fucking psychotic breakdown, something happened there.
Yes. Do you have any guesses on what was going on there?
I'm assuming it was a combination of emotions of everything, along with she probably saw what actually happened.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's just my theory right now, but who knows?
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. I did really like a lot of these scenes. Well, first of all, I want to say this because I haven't said it in the previous episodes that we talked about this. But they did such a good job picking the child actors, like compared to their adult counterparts.
Yeah, they're pretty spot on.
Also, another thing I've been meaning to mention, I keep forgetting. Have you noticed any of the secret ghosts yet?
No, but I'm also not very observant.
Fair. Well, it's apparently a thing with Mike Flanagan that, especially in a show like this, he loves to slip in secret ghosts. So, like, if you're paying attention, you'll just see random ghosts in the background constantly.
See, I'm not observant on first watches on any of this stuff, so
that's fair. Yeah, no, I'm not great. I've only actually caught one or two of them throughout these few times that I've watched this show. But and it's something that he does like pretty consistently. He does this in Bly Manor. I think he does it in Midnight Club as well. Yeah, he it's just one of those little quirks that he likes to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of those scenes that we get with Theo as a child, especially like dealing with Luke and stuff, like when Luke's first playing with a dumbwaiter and Mrs. Dudley comes up and she's like grabbing his arm, like, "What are you doing?" Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Why are you grabbing his fucking arm?" And she's like, "Well, it's dangerous." Like, didn't just fucking say that. Like, you don't have to fucking, grab his arm and be all mean and shit. And then like Luke calls her mean, but like at that moment, Mrs. Dudley's touching her arm, and she's like, "Oh no, she's not mean. She's scared." And like she's like super taken aback by that. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. Now it seems like out of all the characters we've been introduced to, like Theo seems like the most fleshed out at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's also because we got basically nothing of Steven. And
yeah, we pretty much just got he's a skeptic and thinks all the women in his family are crazy.
Yeah, and then Shirley's just a mess. Like,
which speaking of Shirley, actually, because I kind of alluded to it in the last week's episode, but yeah, so remember that whole talk she had with her kids about Auntie Nell dying and everything?
Yeah, we got the follow-up to that.
She's pretty much repeating everything verbatim that Theo told her to say. Like, literally, like she came up with nothing unique to say on the subject.
Yeah, well, she's like more repressed than Hank Hill. Like, when you really think about it.
Oh, for sure.
Also, so the thing with her husband at the end there and the checking account, is it supposed to imply that he's secretly taking the money from Steven?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I assumed. Because
we had that conversation in, I think, the previous episode where he's talking to her and he's like, we're barely in the black, you can't keep doing all these, but the only reason that business is still running is because he's taking the money.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought, because like when Theo makes the whole thing about just say it's an affair partner or something like that, she'll take that way better than when she finds
something that'll piss her off less than the truth is what she says.
And when I thought about it, I was like, well, she can't stand Steven and it's the money thing, so that's probably what's going on here.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so her husband's not a dirtbag, he's just being sensible.
Well, you can even tell in that scene where they're discussing the whole royalties thing, and she's like, "Right, what's your name?" Because I forget his name. And
he's so whipped.
Blood money. Yep.
That guy is so whipped. It's not even funny.
Well, but at the same time, he's also like, he's realistic. He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna take the fucking money. I'm gonna put it in the business because we need to."
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna make waves about it.
Yeah, it is nice Steven is giving them the money. Does Luke get the money, or is...
I highly doubt it.
I was thinking about that for a minute, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I mean, maybe if they put it into some sort of trust, they never mention it, but maybe they put it in some sort of trust or specifically put it towards rehab or something. I don't know.
And maybe it's paying for his rehab, yeah.
Because we did get that scene where Shirley is like, this is it. We're not doing this again. Here's the 100. Go away from the wedding. But like, he clearly goes to rehab again, so the money's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
So I have to assume it's Steve who's paying for it at that point, at least.
Like, because this was the first real allusion that we got to that the Steve's paying the royalties.
Yes. So yeah, we mentioned the whole. First I also love the like when we're first kind of like getting a handle on how her abilities work, and her and her dad are like sorting through a bunch of shit in like this old like cabinet or whatever. They're like, oh, we're gonna sort out the trash from the stuff that we can sell, and like he hands her a box. It's just like, it's trash, and it's just like, it's like even without her being like, oh, I have a magical ability that tells me that this is a fancy wine that's worth a lot of money, but like you wouldn't want to just like look at what's in the box before you just deem it trash?
The dad doesn't seem very bright.
It just seems like a very strange, like you're trying to make extra money to continue working on the house and everything else you need to do. Like, look inside the shit. Like, especially like, and then they go into the, Theo discovers the basement and like, she's like, oh, here's this ledger. This is like an old bootlegging operation and all this stuff. It's like, yeah, look, like, don't just fucking like give a cursory glance to it. Like, actually look at the fucking thing.
Also, thing I liked about this episode too was this episode really didn't rely on the jump scares that much, but it was still creepy. Like,
yeah, well, see, that's the thing is Flanagan isn't crazy about jump scares. Like, they're gonna have them, especially like in some of the other projects he's done, because Netflix is going to be like, no, you need to have more of this. But he's not crazy about jump scares either. He very much in the way that he's a Stephen King fan. He likes the build up more than the actual like, bah,
Yeah, because like the creepiest scene in this episode was like when Theo's in bed and she wakes up and there's that weird creature staring at her.
Yeah, that was the Mr. Smiley. It was like,
yes,
which when we find out what that actually is,
that scene got me. I was like, I was not expecting it to go there, and when it did, I was like, oh.
Which I actually didn't realize until this past viewing that that scene we got in, I think, the previous episode where Nell's body is being delivered to.
That's after that, yeah.
Like she's like, I can't do this. I have to go. Like that's where she goes after that, is to their house to go.
Yeah.
And look around the basement. So like, yeah, she had a day. She had a day. She needed that booty call.
That scene is so fucked up though. Like she just shows up and they're like, oh yeah, you can look around, sure. And she's like down in the basement and like has all these visions. And at first I was like, that's weird. But then like she touches the guy's hand and like she pauses on it for a few seconds. And I was just like, that's odd. And then the second she's like, yeah, you need to send fucking protective services here now. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh. I was like,
exactly.
It went there.
Yeah. Well, it was also because like, see, what I think happened is I think when she was on the couch in the basement was when she was like, this is what's happening. I know this is happening. And it was the handshake that was because she mentions like as she's talking on the phone that like he will confess. I think she shook his hand to get a feel for him specifically to be like, are you going to admit it if I send people here immediately? And that's what I think that was going.
Just the fucking cold ass scene though when they're taking him away in the police car and they back up and she looks him dead in the eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh god,
you know that I know. Like, yeah.
That was.
But it is heavily implied that she had done this many times. Like, there's been multiple situations where she's been treating a child and she has discovered things like this, and like, and it's always correct. It's always right. And
well, yeah, she flat out says that, like when she's talking.
She apparently has. Yeah, she has a reputation at this point about fucking catching these people.
She's like Chris Hansen with magic powers.
Yeah, right.
Unless Chris Hansen secretly has magic powers, we'll never know.
Yeah,
he's really good at making people take a seat. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, for real. Take a seat. Just take a seat.
Yeah, but like even the more fucked up part too is when she's like having her like trauma dump session with her lover, and she's like, yeah, now she's just gonna go back into the system, and that's a fucking crapshoot. Like it's 50-50 there, but it's like yay me, I guess.
Yeah, because
like,
it's also I don't know if it's I don't know if it's actually been stated, but after the events of Hill House, they all got shipped off to live with their aunt. Like their dad lost custody, so like they know how it feels to be shuffled around.
Yeah. Oof.
And then we also had that scene where like when her and Shirley are talking about Nell's death, and we get that moment of like where Theo's like, oh, it's better you told him than me, and she's like, why? It's because I'm fucking pissed. It's like she knows what things like this does to a family, and she did it anyway. Like it's like that was such a fucking emotional scene.
Yeah.
And then we get the scene where Theo takes the money, which is just fucking great.
Yeah.
Because she still takes the time to call him out on his bullshit.
Yeah. I mean,
but she's like, I am taking the money because like this thing happened to us, and we better get something out of it, something positive. I'm getting my fucking doctorate. I'm a doctor now.
Yeah, she's realistic about it. I do love how she has to twist the knife a little bit though.
Mm-hmm. And I love how like she hugs his wife, and then she like goes to turn to leave, and he's like, "No hug for me," and she's like, "Fine."
She's like, "I don't hate you that much."
Yeah. So we also had the scene where she gets her first pair of gloves when her mother's having that whole talk with her. As we find out that her abilities are genetic and that all the women in their family have some greater or lesser sensitivity to the greater world. Because we Liv has her color storms, which is where her migraine came from in the previous episode.
Yeah.
We've seen Shirley with her like sleep talking. Obviously Nell's got her bent neck lady. And then Theo's got her her tactile, like psychic powers.
Yeah. I don't know who got off the best in that roulette there.
I mean, I'd like to say Shirley, but I just don't like her, so I don't want to say Shirley.
She just talks in her sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, Theo's is probably the most useful, even though it's probably traumatizing.
Well, I mean, it's made very clear that she was very deeply traumatized by this power multiple times.
Yeah. Even though
clearly, whenever she discovers one of these diddlers, she does not have fun learning it. So
no, because she probably has to see it all and
or experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like a really nice like mother-daughter scene where she's giving her the gloves and she's like, "This is like a thing in our family, and as you get older, you know, you can always talk to me about it. And we'll go into more detail about figuring it all out later," which obviously didn't happen.
It's better than the Shirley scene where she basically just tells Shirley to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
She had
a migraine.
Because Shirley gave her one for being annoying as shit.
Well, that's up in the
the
house is doing things.
I know. She was being an annoying little shit, though.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's Shirley.
Well, let me keep a diseased dead animal. No.
Yeah, right. We keep the one survivor of a fucking diseased litter of kittens. Like, no, absolutely not.
One survivor that's not even good. Like, there's.
I took it out back and stepped on its neck. What are you talking about?
What else? Oh yeah, the Nell scene. That was a lot.
Which one?
When she's down in the morgue.
Yeah, that was a rough scene, and not because anything in particular happened, but you could just based on her reaction.
It was more
experience.
It was in somehow more unsettling than like the two previous Nell jump scares.
Yeah, for sure. Like it was a more human scene, you know.
Because the one in Steven's episode is just kind of whatever. Like that's about as jump scary as you can get. The one in Shirley's episode with the mom switcheroo, that one is weird, but kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
That one was just kind of like I was waiting for something to appear, and then the fucking just that guttural scream. I was like, oh, that's uncomfortable.
Did we mention in the previous episode the little model that Shirley has of the forever home that her mother was designing?
Yeah, we brought that up.
How it flashed the lights twice.
I don't think we mentioned the lights. We mentioned the house.
Because that was the sign their mother had when they were children to it's time to come home. So that was like kind of like a big like symbolic imagery in that scene. I feel like there's another thing. I wanted to mention before.
Oh, we did get another look at them all escaping from Hill House.
Yeah, the closing scene of the episode.
Because we have the dad grab her arm, and we see that like we get a bunch of
images.
We get a bunch of images, which I'm sure are going to come up later.
Very similar to Aaron kissing Historia's hand, like the same kind of like oh fuck kind of scene.
Yeah. Oh, the only other scene that we didn't talk about was Theo dancing up near the door. I'm assuming that's the key door.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. It looked different from that episode because the first episode it was brighter, I guess. But
yeah.
I'm assuming that door is gonna be the big reveal of everything fucked up in that house.
It's definitely a big part of it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually that scene is a pretty big revealing scene on Theo as a character, because up to this point we've seen that like she just likes to go to like clubs and party and shit. But like looking at that scene and being like, oh, she just likes to dance, and she's been that way since she was a child. Like she's not necessarily going there to get fucked up and have a good time. Like she just wants to dance.
Yeah.
Which reasonable. I mean, it is kind of. I mean, obviously, like anybody in any profession is going to have their own life outside of work, but it is interesting to see like a child psychologist just going clubbing all the time.
I mean, you see some fucked up shit. You probably need to.
Yeah, that's true. Just lose yourself in the music and fucking.
It's like how, it's like the
take home
stereotype.
Some random chick to your family funeral home.
Yeah, it's kind of like that whole stereotype where it's like doctors and surgeons are alcoholics and like nurses are chain smokers. Just kind of a thing.
I mean, it's a stereotype for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, my dad always told me a story about they played like a benefit show for like a bunch of doctors, and he said like they were all at the bar the entire show.
Oh, I believe it.
I'm just like, yeah.
You can only see so many things before you got to start fucking tipping the bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, this was a big turning point episode for me because I liked the first two episodes.
This is easily the most interesting one so far.
But Steve and Shirley are probably, well, Steve less so because he actually has an arc he's going throughout this whole thing. Shirley's just kind of an asshole.
From what I've gotten is there's more to Steve that we've seen so far. Like we'll learn more because we've already learned more within these last two episodes about him. Shirley just came off as I'm the oldest daughter, so I get to say I have all the say. I guess that's kind of how it comes off.
Like she acts like she's the boss of everybody, and like she
also
tries to do it with Steve, but Steve's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want." But she's still gonna fucking throw that power around, like when she blatantly says like, "None of us are taking the money," and it's just like, well, who the fuck are you to speak for us? Like,
yeah, Theo really followed that one.
Yeah, right. And her husband.
He's whipped though. He's just gonna hide.
I don't think Nell took the money. If she did, it's never really mentioned. But I mean, she's probably her and Luke are probably the most traumatized out of everybody else from the experience. Because again, the younger you are, the more you experience it. They are twins, so they probably experience the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
One had deeply troubling psychotic problems, and the other ended up an addict. So
it also feels like when you look at a lot of Shirley's decisions, they caused a lot more issues than good. Like her whole thing at the wedding was probably the wrong choice.
Oh, for sure, and not even just that, but also like she's also talking out of her ass most of the time. Like I go back to the conversation we had about last week's episode where she's having that whole Halloween costume discussion with her son. And she's like, well, just, I got you this so you could be creative. It's more fun to be creative. And it's like, you were the least fucking creative person in the show. What are you talking about? You have no right to say that.
Still love that. I want to be Captain Lame.
Yeah, I love that. It's great. See, he's a great character. He's a great character.
Yeah, the husband seems to be one of the more interesting characters so far.
I wish I could remember his name.
It's not important. He's the comic relief of that duo.
Kind of. He's the one that makes that family not hate their lives.
You'd have to, because my God. She's like Chi-Chi, but worse somehow.
Yeah. For sure.
At least Chi-Chi's heart is in the right place.
Yeah, Shirley seems somewhat selfish.
Yeah.
In some ways, I'd say more selfish than Luke. And,
Yeah.
I won't get into too much details because our next episode is the Luke episode. So we're going to get a lot. Because we have gotten very, very, very little of adult Luke so far.
Yeah, he doesn't even appear in this episode unless he was in the money scene. I don't remember if he was there or not.
He was not. We've gotten plenty of child Luke, but
I'm assuming he was already in rehab by that point.
He was either in rehab or off one of his drug escapades or something. But
okay,
he was not involved in any of that.
Got it.
Actually, yeah, he might have been in rehab at that point. I'm not, because I know when they first put him in rehab, he hadn't even written the book.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Because he was still broke and Shirley had to pay for it.
Right.
So, but yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting next week. Yeah. All right. I think that should wrap this one up. We got another. These Hill House episodes are going to be long. I can already tell.
Yeah, I mean, if we have to break it up into like 2 episodes or something, we could.
We'll see how it goes. I've already done a 5er, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's true. Although Haunting of Hill House has a pretty big following, so even if it's long, I think it might not matter.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll see how it goes. But yeah, I guess anyways though, I guess time to wrap this up. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms. Check us out on the Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site where you can find all sorts of videos, blogs, podcasts, all sorts of fun stuff there. And yeah, until next time, guys, once again, thank you for joining us. We will see you all later.
Have a good one.